So our project is called Agora. Our team members are me, Kiara Barrios, Chun Nam, and Gillian Pantaleon. And so the idea behind the application Agora is that it's a web application that will serve as a resource for building community within CUNY schools. Given that CUNY schools are commuter-based schools, it becomes difficult to build a sense of community, and Agora's mission tackles these issues that arise. So the concept of the app is that it's an event organizer and scheduler where users can create and organize group study sessions, find tutors, and exchange textbooks that they no longer might have any use for. So some additional features that are part of the application are things like being able to synchronize events with Google Calendar or the iPhone's iCal, also to suggest convenient places to meet or hang out based on the user's needs, and then to also rate a location once the meetup has ended. So some of the tasks so far that we've completed has been finalizing UI design for both the login and registration pages. We also created a placeholder URLs for footer content. So this means that all buttons have been created to access different parts of the application. But if they are not active, a placeholder URL was created for them. We also created a dashboard for when the user verifies their email and is then able to log into the app. From this page, users can access different resources based on what they want to do within the app, also based on whether they're an administrator. And then in the back end, our progress has been that we created a MongoDB database that's hosted via MongoDB Atlas. And we were able to establish a connection there with our server using Node. We created a Gmail account for calendar and email notification sending. And we created routing between login and register pages, as well as the password recovery page. And then we were able to test form acceptance mechanisms, and those are all working. And then also we created a Google account for tracking calendar events and delivering email messengers to users that might have to do with verification emails or when they first register, or to be able to reset their password using the URL that they're sent through the email.
So the coding part was completed, encryption and decryption of user passwords. We were able to create routes for flows between login in dashboard, registration, and such, using Express and Express layout, Bootstrap, and Bootwatch. Database connection script has been completed by Kira. And we also, in the script, we copy codes, Java codes that implemented some kind of table view that can pull data from the Mongo database and display as a table on screen. Also incorporate a Google Calendar JavaScript that can in real time pull up events inside the calendar we're going to use for all events associated with tutoring, gathering and all kinds of stuff that's happening within this group account. For testing, we've been continuously testing for the connectivity through localhost. We have tested creating user account and the population of data into the database and retrieving from the database. And we'll continue to do other testings as the project goes along.
So our task breakdown for the past week was where Chun has been focused on designing the user interface. So he's been working on UIs, incorporating both Bootstrap and Express layout to create these pages for the user. Also, pages are properly routed with expected displays and prompts for the user to access. Gillian has been working on continuing to modify design as we continue, and then adjusting the design as needed. And then I completed the email verification routes for registration, as well as completed the routes for password resets. And then additionally, I began working on admin uh, invitations. So that means that once you become an admin, you will be able to invite other users to be admins. Um, yeah.
So these are the actual user interfaces that the GUI is showing. This is the welcome page, or basically homepage, login page for the user. When the user enter information here, they can click the buttons to log in, to go to register, or go to forget password screen. And on top of it, you see a little pink display. It will be showing any, you know, input that was in there that is not formatted correctly. It will show a warning sign. At the bottom of the page, you see placeholders for terms and about and other URLs that's for to provide user with information. And the next page is a register page. From here, users can register to be a new member. And the format of the page will have to be followed. Otherwise, there will be a failed display showing that the format is incorrect. And this is the form fail page. If the information user inputted is not according to the format, for example, password is too short or email address incorrect, then it will not be registered. Instead, the error will show that registration is not successful, and it show the user what to do next. And this is the password reset page. Allow user to enter their new password for submission. This is the master template for most of the dashboards for all the other functions that user will have. As you can see, we'll have a navigation bar at the top, a sidebar on the left-hand side that goes to different functions of the application. Also allow user to log out, look at settings for their profiles, and possibly provide some help for user access. We plan to incorporate calendar. This is from Google Calendar, for user to have a bird's eye view of all the events happening during the week, the month, or so on. And at the bottom of the page, that is a table that will be pulling information from the database in regards to what the user interest is at. If the user's in the textbook page, this list will contain textbooks that are available for rent, to sell, or to be borrowed. If users in tutor page or gathering gathering page, this will list the locations and events that are happening, and events that they are owner of, and there will be various fields that allow them to react to click on those events and continue on to the next page.
So our next steps for the next week and beyond are to complete design and incorporation of code and both testing. So we plan on incorporating email API for notification. So this means if a user is planning on requesting a book, they will hit a request button for the user that is offering the book, and the offer of the book will receive a notification via email that a request has been made. Also, we plan on incorporating Google API for map and calendar events. So this means if a person has a group session that they plan on attending sometime in the month or the week, that event will be added to their calendar. Also, for maps, we plan on storing places and locations in our database. So we plan on using Google's API for that. And then we also continue to, we plan on continuing to add and tweak our user interfaces to make them more user-friendly if needed. We're also creating admin invitation and privileges currently. Additionally, we're implementing server-side cookie tracking for user session management. So this is in part with implementing a timer tracking to reset connection if an idle time is exceeded. So this is connected with signing a user out if there has been if user inactivity has been detected. And then also we plan on creating routes for book creation and place creation. So our Gantt chart, we are in the implementation stages. So we have created our front end design for both login and registration, as well as our dashboard. And in the back end, we have successfully created our routes for login and registration, as well as password resets. So now we are trying to adjust our dashboard pages to have the information that the user needs based on where they are in the application. So that means that if they are in the textbook part of the application, they will be fed textbooks from the database that are inputted in there. And then also we plan on creating an admin dashboard in the upcoming weeks. And then we would have to create routes for these pages to get the information that is needed by the user. Okay, so here we have the landing page to the website. So the landing page is the login to the website. If you don't have an account already, you can sign up by clicking the sign up button. Here you could register. So I'll create an account for my name. So just to demo this, we have a password, and then to confirm a password, if I click register, it'll give me an error that I could click out of that says passwords do not match. And then I could just alter this to be the same password. So now I have I've been sent back to the login page that tells me a verification email has been sent to kiarabarrios@gmail.com. So if I were to go to my Gmail for this account, I will see that there's an email for the Agora project. And here I have a link to verify my email. And then I am sent back to the Agora login page. Here I could log back in. And then I am taken to the dashboard for myself. So far we have just placeholder URLs for all these additional features and parts of the application. But once this is set up, we will be able to go to the exchange page and be able to see textbooks that are available to exchange. Gather, we would be able to see our different sessions that we might have created to meet up with other people. And then also over here, we would be able to see any events that we might have created or that we are a part of. And then in settings, we would be able to update any information that we might see fit. So maybe we would want to update our password, and then we could log out. And then we are taken back to the login page where it says you are successfully logged out. So just to show the forgot username or password, we could put our email that we registered with, we could submit, and we could see that an email was set, my email to reset my password. I could go back and I could see that another email had been sent to reset my password. I could click on the URL and it will take me to a page where I can set up my new password. I would just have to enter my email, a new password for it. And then my password has been updated, and then I could sign in with my new password. And so when we register for our Agora account, the password is hashed. That way we don't have access to that information provided by the user. We are just storing their information.
And that concludes our demonstration. Um, one of the challenges that were kind of new in this environment, every tool that we choose seems to have a lot of features in there that are very exciting. We like to explore them, but unfortunately sometimes it's not enough time for us to go deep into the details. But there's a lot of good features in all these uh, open source tools that we can use, that we try to learn. And the interface itself is kind of challenging in that it's hard to fit everything into the screen, and we'll be continuously to be working on that. And also our role has changed from when we first stepped into this project, because sometimes some tasks are better done by a member that is working directly on a related function than the others. Our role is continuously changing as we go along, and we also have a challenge trying to figure out how to determine user inactivity on the client end and sending this information to the server. The original thought was that we're going to store this timestamp every time user access the database by updating the database. We'll try to see if that's doable. I think that concludes our presentation. Thank you.